Hello, I'm here to talk about this book, Sidewalk, by Mitchell Duneier, published in 1999 by Farrar, Straus, and Giroux. This is the account of a participant observation study of the social life of a stretch of sidewalk in Greenwich Village, New York. Mitchell Duneier is a white Jewish sociologist who spent the better part of 5 years observing, listening to, and actually working alongside the marginalized members of a mostly black, unofficial street economy. These people survive and form a community by selling books, magazines, sometimes scavenged, sometimes recycled goods, or by panhandling. I was moved and inspired by this book, moved by its portrait of the resilience and the ingenuity of the people whose lives take place on the sidewalk. And I was inspired as a student of research by Mitchell Duneier's courage and integrity as a researcher. In order to gain access to the social life of the sidewalk, he had to address really huge social barriers and venture into a potentially hostile world. And he does that, and he gains the trust of the people there. And then after earning their trust, he follows through on his moral commitment as a scholar by inviting some of them to come back to his university and co-teach a course with him. And he has also donated the royalties from this book to his participants. What I gained from this book, as opposed to simply reading an article about this study, 3 things. One, the book is more like a narrative. It's the story of a research undertaking. All the observations, the analysis are woven throughout the book in a very readable way, rather than being presented as separate and distinct sections that is more typical in an article. It allows the author to give more space to other voices, literally. So there's a 10-page afterword written by one of the participants. There are pages and pages of photographs taken by his collaborator, a professional photographer. And there are long, rich passages of verbatim dialogue that really allow us to get to know the people on the street in this world. And finally, he includes a 24-page appendix called A Statement on Method, in which he discusses his moral and theoretical framework, the challenges he faced, the difficult decisions he made, and also the sources of his support and guidance. I think that was very helpful for me as a graduate student. The new insights that I gained, as well as having other beliefs about method and methodology confirmed, the new insights include the fact that research can involve quite a bit of luck. He describes how several times he falls heir to some excellent data that was really a kind of fluke. He also raises a very interesting question, which is, whom does the anonymity protect? And he chooses to offer his participants the option of being identified with their real names in the book. And he thinks that's a matter of respect for them and also a matter of responsibility for him being held to account for his evidence. He also raises the danger of romanticizing the voices of his participants. And I can see how you, as you form relationships with people, you might want to be trying to present them in the best possible light. And I think that's a danger I will have to keep in mind for myself. And finally, he talks about the necessity of linking the micro and the macro perspectives in your analysis, how the social forces that influence people's lives and choices sometimes mean that you can't take their personal accounts at face value. And that was an interesting idea for me, and I found it very helpful to see how he made that link for himself. So in conclusion, I found this book very helpful and interesting and inspiring. Thank you for listening.